What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Everyday Hoops. Yes, welcome. Yeah, we had a stacked day of NBA games yesterday. It was amazing to watch, literally all day from 1 p.m. till about midnight, which is perfect for me. So yeah, we're doing a recap of yesterday's games. If you missed any of yesterday's games, I got you covered right here. But before we get into it, just want to say thanks for the views on the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. It's led people over to the main videos. So thank you guys so much for it. And if you could, please subscribe, like the videos, hit notifications, do all the stuff like that. You know, it really helps out a lot. I really appreciate it. And so, yeah, let's get right into it. Let's not waste any more of your time. Let's go. The first game from yesterday's slate was the 1 p.m. Eastern game on ABC. Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee Bucks, rematch of the NBA Finals from 2021. Unfortunately, the stars weren't out. Well, not all the stars were out. Kevin Durant, of course, didn't play for the Suns. Probably his last game sitting for Phoenix for a while. Next game, he should be back. And for the Bucks, no Giannis. He suffered a quad injury on the Friday game against the Miami Heat. He did not play in this game, but everyone else did, and it was still a very fun watch. Bobby Porter starts this game off with energy. Drew Holiday comes in as well. Just everyone on the Bucks really chipping in to start this first quarter. For the Suns, it was really the role players that are stepping up. Josh Okogie, who's been playing very well as a Phoenix Sun, he was doing some things, hitting shots, getting rebounds, playing defense. Cameron Payne as well at the end of the first quarter. Hit some big shots to keep the Suns in the game. Ultimately, the Bucks lead 33-26 after one. And then we go to the second quarter, and both teams do the opposite. Both teams can't hit shots. It's free throws, really, to start the second quarter. The first field goal in the second quarter does get made. Took Grayson Allen hit a step back three with 9 minutes left. We go the first 3 minutes of the second when no one hitting anything until Grayson Allen hits a three-pointer to put the Bucks up 11. In the second quarter, the Suns shoot just 27% from the field. The Bucks shot 30% from the field. Yeah, both teams are getting solid shots. They just weren't making them. It's 20-20 the score in the second quarter. The Bucks lead 53-46 after a few Brook Lopez buckets at the end of the second. And we go to the third quarter, and Chris Paul and Devin Booker take over to start the third quarter. Both of them hitting shots. Chris Paul hitting his mid-ranges, hitting step backs, bracing out. Devin Booker, doing his thing, him hitting shots. It's a really good quarter. The Bucks also keep in there, keeping a 10-point lead. But then the Suns end the third quarter on a 13-3 run, led by Devin Booker and Chris Paul. And they're now just down one, 74-75, going into the final quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Suns bench. The Suns start on a 9-2 run, led by Terrence Ross in the first shot. They immediately Chris Paul in some shots for the Suns to take a 6-point lead, 83-77. But then Drew Holiday shows why he is an all-star. Drew Holiday is an all-star, and he showed it last night, doing it on both ends. Him and Brook Lopez as well were hitting some big shots to keep this at around a 3 to 5-ish point game, even though the Suns were hitting as well. Then you go Bucks down about 6 with 4.5 minutes left. Jay Crowder hits back-to-back clutch corner threes to make it a 2-point game, and then Drew Holiday lays it in to tie the game at 96 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then Drew Holiday also hit a nice step-back three, crossing up Josh Okogie, hitting a three-pointer to take a 2-point lead. The game is very back and forth. Devin Booker then hits a fadeaway to tie the game at 100, and then the other one, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton makes a nice read on a left. Brook Lopez kind of like a little back cut around DeAndre Ayton. And Middleton finds Middleton finds Brook Lopez for a layup to make a 102-100. And then the other end, Drew Holiday locks up Devin Booker in the last possession. We've seen that before. We know where that came from. Drew Holiday gets a steal on Devin Booker. Joe Ingles hits free throws. Drew Holiday hits free throws. And then the last possession, Devin Booker gets fouled on a three in the corner by Joe Ingles. Why does Joe Ingles even contest that shot? You're up 4 with 5 seconds left. You know they're gonna try to get the 4-point play. So honestly, for me, I would have just put my hand up, not even gone over them, just put my hand up or just screamed or something. Would have just let him shoot the shot. Like, he's gonna try to get the foul call. I don't know, but Devin Booker only makes 1 out of 3, and the Bucks end up winning 104-101, pulling off a nice win, and now keep their win streak alive at 14 games in a row. The Bucks shoot 44% from the field in this game, hit 13 3-pointers. They forced 12 turnovers. The Suns actually out rebounded and out assisted the Bucks as well. The Suns had 19 offensive rebounds, which is a big reason why Giannis wasn't there. But their free throws, they missed 9 free throws. They couldn't hit threes at the right time. And yeah, they really could have used Kevin Durant, someone just to be consistently there on offense. But yeah, Milwaukee, a big win. Jrue Holiday finished with 33, 4 and 5, and 13 for 22 shooting and 4 3-pointers. He is an all-star for sure. He's amazing. Brook Lopez had 22 and 13 with 4 blocks as well. Chris Middleton, 11, 10 and 6, 4 for 13 shooting, and Bobby Portis put in 10 points for them. Yeah, just a great all-around team win for Milwaukee. For Phoenix, Devin Booker had 24, 4 and 8. Shot just 9 for 21 and 1 for 5 from 3. Not a great shooting game. DeAndre Ayton had 22 and 11 with 3 blocks. I would have liked to see him get more involved later in the game. Later in the game, it turned into Devin Booker and Chris Paul having the ball in their hands. Chris Paul had 18, 5 and 7 assists. Josh Okogie had 11 and Torrey Craig had 10 rebounds out there. But yeah, great win for Milwaukee. 14-game winning streak. They're scary, especially without Giannis to be able to beat the Suns like this. And the Suns didn't have Durant, but this is a scary team. This is a scary Bucks team that I would not want to face in the playoffs. The next game we had was the Brooklyn Nets, the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks, their last game with Joe Prunty as their head coach. Quinn Snyder's coming in there making a video about that after this one. Yeah, a really good game to start with. For the Hawks, DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter scores the first 9 points for the Hawks. He plays really well. But then for the Nets, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, the Suns boys, taking over for Brooklyn. They play really well. But then Trae Young, the Atlanta Hawks bench, going a nice run to end the first quarter. They lead 37-29 after 1. We go into the second quarter, and the Hawks start the second quarter on a 13-3 run led by Bogdanovich and DeJounte Murray. And they take an 18-point lead, 50-32. But then the Brooklyn Nets, they don't back down. They hit some threes. Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges play really well. Cam Thomas scores the last 11 points. Well, they combined to score the last 11-ish points for the Brooklyn Nets. And the Hawks only lead by 7 going into half of a Trae Young layup to end the first half. Going into the third quarter, Cam Johnson is hitting shots. He's been all over this game. Hitting some threes, even getting to the rim, getting some layups. It's a very good game for him. Spencer Dinwiddie and Mikal Bridges as well in the third quarter. We're helping out Dinwiddie. I'm hitting shots. Mikal Bridges going one-on-one with people, hitting pull-up jumpers. The Nets scored 37 in the third quarter, and they're only down 3 points, 97-94, as the Hawks still keep scoring. The Nets defense couldn't hold the Hawks in the third, even though they scored so many points. We go to the fourth quarter, and the Nets start off good. Spencer Dinwiddie makes a 2-point poster on Jacob Conley, gets called for a technical. At that point, it's a 1-point game. But then the Hawks go on a run, led by Bogdanovich and DeJounte Murray, and then they go up by 8. But the Nets keep it close though. Reed Smith hit some big shots. Dinwiddie hit a 3. Cam Johnson hit a 3 to make it a 3-point game. And then after DeJounte Murray hit a 3 to make it a 4-point game, and then they turned it over and a lot of stuff. DeJounte Murray, Cam Thomas, goaltending on DeJounte Murray's layup. Trae Young hits 2 free throws. It's an 8-point game with 1:17 left, and then Dinwiddie comes down and dunks it. Then Murray makes a bad pass. Cam Johnson with a steal. And Dorian Finney-Smith hits a wing 3 to make it a 3-point game. The Hawks come out. Trae Young misses a 3. The Nets get the rebound. Dorian Finney-Smith drives and finds Cam Johnson in the corner wide open for 3. 127 with 7 seconds left. The Hawks inbound to Trae Young, and Trae Young does his thing on Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges actually tried to step back because he thought Trae Young was going to try to draw the foul. So he gave Trae Young some space. Trae Young stepped back, pump fake, puts up a little floater from the free throw line, goes in at the buzzer, ice Trae for the game, and the Hawks win 129-127. Big win. They shoot 50% from the field. They hit 16 3-pointers. The Nets actually forced a lot of turnovers. The Nets forced 15 Hawks turnovers. With the rebounding, the Hawks out-rebounded Brooklyn 46 to 37, including 13 offensive rebounds. Trae Young finished with 34 points and 8 assists on 12 for 26 shooting and hit the big shot. DeJounte Murray had 28 points. He shot 12 for 21. He hit 4 3-pointers. Those two look really good after Nate McMillan got fired. Bogdan Bogdanovic chipped in with 22 points off the bench and 5 3-pointers. Been waiting for a game like this for him. John Collins had 12. Onyeka Okongwu had 10. Capella had 12 rebounds. He only played just 20 minutes in this game. For the Nets, Cam Johnson. Amazing game. 27 points on 10 for 15 shooting. He was all over the place in this game. He was great. Mikal Bridges put in 24. Cam Thomas had 22 off the bench. Dinwiddie had 20 and 8 assists. A great game for the Nets, especially after losing by 50 to the Bulls last game. They needed a game like this, and they almost had it, just couldn't get a stop. And Dorian Finney-Smith also had 12. Nick Claxton had 11 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Royce O'Neal had 12 points in this game as well. But yeah, the Hawks are now tied with the New York Knicks, or the Nets are now tied with the New York Knicks for the 5th spot. After losing 2 in a row. And the Hawks are only a game behind the Miami Heat now for that 7th spot. So the East getting tighter. Next we have our next ABC game, another great one. The LA Lakers taking on the Mavericks. For the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell doesn't play in this game because of injury. Because of the injury he had last game against the Warriors, and he stepped on Dante DiVincenzo's ankle. But yeah, it's a really good one. The Lakers take a 10-9 lead. To start this game, Anthony Davis comes out on fire. Then after that 10-9 lead, the Mavericks end the first quarter on a 18-6 run, led by Luka Doncic hitting a couple step backs, and then Kyrie hit some shots, and then Josh Green hit one, and the 3-pointers was going in. Christian Wood got in on one, and the Mavericks led 28-16 at the end of the first quarter. Going to the second quarter, the Mavericks again start off hot. The Mavericks start the second quarter on a 19-5 run, led by Kyrie Irving, but then also Tim Hardaway Jr. hitting some big shots. Christian Wood as well. And Christian Wood hits a 3-pointer to put the Mavericks up 48-21, a 27-point lead with 7 minutes left in the second quarter. It looked like this could be a blowout. But the Lakers slowly start to come back. Dennis Schroeder starts to come back, hitting a shot, then get to the free throw line, hitting some free throws. Then Jared Vanderbilt and LeBron keep up the run. LeBron hitting shots. Vanderbilt getting to the free throw line. Vanderbilt hitting a corner 3. And the Lakers, from that, after being down 27, the Lakers outscored Dallas. It's 26-13 to end the first half. They're now just down 14, 61 to 47. And the Lakers, it looked like the Lakers were going to start a comeback. I don't know if it would work, but they're going to start a comeback. But then the Mavericks, they start the third quarter out strong. Reggie Bullock hits some threes. Luka gets to the rim. Kyrie hits a 3-pointer. And the Mavericks, just like that, go back up by 17 points. But then, after being down 17 with 9:11 left in the third quarter, Lakers then go on a 12-0 run led by LeBron, and Jared Vanderbilt was all over this game. It has handprints everywhere on offense and defense. Lakers go on a 12-0 run and cut the lead down to 5, 72-67. Lakers outscore Dallas 31-20 in the third quarter and enter the fourth quarter down just 3 points after AD dunk. But also the big story of the third quarter was LeBron James. LeBron went to the rim and went down and hurt his foot. You know, he's had a foot injury that has been lingering this entire season. He missed a few games after breaking the scoring record because of his foot. And then he went down grabbing his foot. Even there's a sound clip where he said, "I heard it pop." And then even there was footage after the game of him limping a lot coming out of the arena. So hopefully it's nothing serious. That's literally the last thing the Lakers need right now is LeBron to re-injure that foot. And it looked like a scary moment at that time, but LeBron kept into the game. He really did. LeBron scored the first 5 points of the fourth quarter and brought the Lakers the lead 83-81. And then after that, it just goes back and forth. The Mavericks 3-pointers aren't really hitting as they used to. Kyrie and Luka can't really get it going either. Lakers defense plays really well. And then LeBron hitting some tough shots. AD takes over. Austin Reeves even hit some big shots in this game after getting into it with Josh Green a little bit. Going to the fourth quarter, last 2 minutes, AD, an offensive rebound, put back dunk to make it a 1-point lead. Luka comes down the other end, misses a 3. LeBron comes in, lays it in, make it 106, 103 with a minute 26 left. few plays later, Kyrie put back layup, makes it a 1-point game with 32 seconds left. But then Anthony Davis, with a nice turnaround fade on Luka, hits it, makes it 108 to 105. Then the other inbound, Kyrie tries to inbound it to Luka, but Jared Vanderbilt, who was all over the place this game on defense, guarding up Luka, getting steals, getting blocks. On offense, he was getting big offensive rebounds and layups. He's just that type of player, man. You love him on your fan base. I said the Lakers are gonna love Jared Vanderbilt, and last night was Lakers fans fell in love with Jared Vanderbilt after last night. Yeah, but he tips the inbound pass. The Lakers hit some free throws. Just now, I hit a 3-pointer to make it a 1-point game, so maybe it looked a little bit different. But then Dennis Schroeder hits 2 free throws to make it a 3-point game. Kyrie from half court to try to tie it doesn't go, and the Lakers come back from down 27, the largest comeback of the season. They win 111 to 108. The Lakers shoot 43% from the field. The Lakers only hit 6 3-pointers in this game. Mavericks hit 23s, but Mavericks couldn't hit them when they needed to. Lakers also forced 16 Mavericks turnovers. They had 25 assists and out-rebounded Dallas. AD had an excellent game, 30 and 15 with 4 assists and 3 blocks, shooting 12 for 20. LeBron had 26, 8 and 3. Dennis Schroeder had 16 and 8 assists. He was great. Jared Vanderbilt, 15 points, 17 rebounds, 4 steals. I mean, just an insane game from him and a great game for the Lakers. For Dallas, Luka had 26, 9 and 5 on 10 for 22 shooting. Kyrie had 21, 11 and 5. He shot just 8 for 22 and 2 for 10 from 3. He leads the league in fourth quarter scoring, but couldn't really do much in the fourth. Tim Hardaway had 17 points. He was a big factor off the bench. And Christian Wood had 14 as well. But the Lakers get the win. The Lakers now move up to 12th. They slowly move up. They're 12th in the West. Only a half game behind Portland. Only 1 game out of the play-in. So yeah, this is where it starts, Laker fans. This is where it starts. It was a great game. Great game. Both the ABC games were really, really good. Next, we got a quick one. Wizards, Bulls. We don't have to talk about this one for too long. It was kind of a boring game, unless you're a Bulls fan, I guess. Yeah, Porzingis doesn't play for the Wizards. The first quarter, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic, the big three for the Bulls, score all 25 points for Chicago in the first quarter. No one else does anything. But the Wizards still lead 27-25 after one. Because of DeLon Wright, he was playing really well. He's actually starting now. DeLon Wright's been playing really well. Yeah, 27-25 after one. Go to the second quarter, Patrick Williams hit some shots early second quarter. DeMar DeRozan hit some shots. Bulls go up 6 at one point, but Kyle Kuzma and DeLon Wright bring the Bulls back. Bring the Wizards back. Wizards back. And yeah, and then it's a really back and forth second quarter. DeMar DeRozan hits three free throws. At the end of the second, they go up 47-45 at halftime. Going to the third quarter, the Wizards start good. DeLon Wright again hits some shots. Eddie Avdija hits some shots. And the Wizards go up 52-49. But then the Bulls score 9 straight points, led by Vucevic and LaVine and Caruso as well. And they go up by 6. And then it's back and forth in the third quarter. The Bulls take a 74-67 lead going into the fourth quarter. And then we go into the fourth. The Bulls start the fourth on a 12-4 run, capped off by Kobe White back-to-back 3-pointers. And then from then on, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine close the game. They score 13 of the last 15 Bulls points. And the Bulls win 102-82. Their defense steps up. Back-to-back games where they held teams to about 80-ish points. Big wins for Chicago. Chicago shoots 51% from the field. They force 16 turnovers. And they just play really well. DeMar DeRozan has 29 and 6 assists. LaVine has 27. Vucevic has 16 and 13. Kobe White has 17 off the bench. He was huge. Pat Bev didn't score in this game, but he provided some energy on defense like he always does. And yeah, huge win for Chicago, especially against the team that they're right behind, Washington. So they needed this win. But yeah, for Washington, Bradley Beal had 18, 7 and 8, 7 for 17 shooting. Daniel Gafford had 15 and 11 against his former team. DeLon Wright had 14. Kuzma had 10 points. He shot just 4 for 18. Very much struggled this game. Didn't really get much help from their bench at all. And the Bulls win this game. The Bulls are now only a half game behind Washington for that final play-in spot. So, yeah, that's going to be a race to watch. Next, we had the Raptors in Cleveland taking on the Cavaliers. The Raptors come in on a 4-game winning streak. The Cavs come in on a 3-game losing streak. So, yeah, 2 streaks going on. But for the Cavs, it starts Darius Garland and Jared Allen start off this game great. They combine for 23 of the 34 first quarter points for the Cavaliers. Darius Garland hitting threes. Jared Allen dunking. You know, great to see as a Cavs fan. And then Pascal Siakam started the first quarter well. He got like 12 first quarter points. And Cavs go into the second leading 34 to 28. We go to the second quarter, and then it turns from Garland and Mobley to Allen and Donovan Mitchell hitting shots in the second quarter. They take a 12-point lead multiple times, looking really good. Scotty Barnes played really well in the second quarter. He was hitting some shots. Pascal as well was getting into it, trying to keep the Raptors in this game. The Cavs are up 64-52 going into the third quarter. We're going to the third quarter, and the Raptors start the third on a 12-4 run led by Pascal and Scotty. Gary Trent as well had a layup in there, and they make it a 4-point game. But then Donovan Mitchell and Isaac Okoro as well a little bit, but Donovan Mitchell decides to turn up. Donovan Mitchell scores 13 third quarter points, especially 11 after they call a flagrant foul on him, an offensive flagrant foul on him, on Jakob Poeltl. And after that, he scored 11 straight points. Isaac Okoro as well hit some threes and layups in there, and they balloon the lead up to 20. They go into the fourth quarter leading 92-76. And in the fourth quarter, the Cavaliers start the fourth on a 17-4 run led by Karis LeVert and then Evan Mobley. And then they take a 30-point lead, and that's the game, basically, right there. They win 118-93, snapping the win streak of the Raptors and snapping their own losing streak. The Cavs shoot 52% from the field and 50% from three, hitting 18, man. When was the last time we hit 18 threes in a game? The Raptors shoot just 39% from the field and hit 9 3-pointers. Cavs have 31 assists to the Raptors' 19 assists. Donovan Mitchell finishes with 35, 6, and 4 on 13 for 21 shooting, hitting 8 3-pointers. Jared Allen has 23 and 11. Darius Garland 18 points and 11 assists. Evan Mobley had 18, 9, and 4. The core of the Cavaliers playing amazingly well in this game. All 4 of them did, and that really led them to this win. For Toronto, Pascal at 25, 8, and 5. Jakob Poeltl had 13 and 9. Scotty Barnes had 12 and 5 for 13 shooting. Didn't really get any help from their bench, and then OG and Gary Trent each both had 7 points. Gary Trent shot 2 for 13. So yeah, when their wings aren't doing anything, that's a problem for Toronto. And yeah, much needed win from the Cavaliers, man. They're really struggling. They needed a win, and they got one. Now they're almost at 40 on the season. That's crazy. Next we're going out west, Sacramento and OKC. Still no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with some injuries. Which really sucks because this is the prime run for the Thunder right now. But they still got a lot of fight. Early in this game was tied at 13 with 7:36 left. But then the Kings, Sabonis and the bench, go on a 21-8 run in the first quarter and lead 36-26. Yeah, they led by 13 at one point in the quarter, but the Thunder had a couple shots to end of the first, make it a 10-point game. We go to the second quarter, and Thunder are fighting back as Kenrich Williams and Aaron Wiggins, their bench, really was fighting back. Dara Saric did a couple things in the quarter. Jeremiah Robinson Earl was doing well. Jalen Williams as well. But De'Aaron Fox closes out the half. The Kings lead 58-50 going into the second half. Go to the third quarter, the Kings start off nice. The Kings lead by 14 points halfway through the third after De'Aaron Fox hits a free throw to make it 77-63. But then the Thunder go on a 17-6 run led by the 3-ball. Isaiah Joe hit a couple of threes. He was looking amazing in this game. He hit step-back threes. Lindy Waters, the third, as well, hitting 3-pointers. People don't even know who Lindy Waters is. And they cut the lead down to 3. OKC hits 8 3-pointers in the third quarter and cut the lead down 94-90 going into the fourth. But then the fourth quarter, the Kings bench plays really well. Malik Monk hit some threes. Trey Lyles as well was hitting big shots. And they bring the lead up to 13 after Trey Lyles hits back-to-back 3-pointers. And yeah, the Thunder were trying. Josh Giddey and Isaiah Joe in the fourth quarter were trying to bring him back, but it was just no use. The Kings would hit a shot every time they could. De'Aaron Fox being clutch, as always. And the Kings win 124-115. Kings shoot 53% from the field and 42% from three. Thunder actually shot 40% from three, hit 16 of them as well. Thunder didn't play a bad game at all. It's just the Kings' offense is better. Really, is what it is. The Kings also out-assisted OKC 32-24, and they also have 48 rebounds. The Thunder 37, and they had 13 offensive rebounds. De'Aaron Fox had 33 points and 8 assists on 11 for 19 shooting. He's been incredible this season. Keegan Murray had 20 points as well, hitting 4 threes with 3 steals. Domantas Sabonis had 14, 15, and 8. Trey Lyles had 16 off the bench, and Malik Monk had 12 off the bench. So that was a huge factor in this game, the bench scoring. The Kings have a really nice bench as well. Like, they're one of the top bench scoring teams in the league. They got Malik Monk being great. Terrence Davis can pop off at some points. Trey Lyles has been very solid this year. It's good for them. For OKC, Isaiah Joe had 24 points on 6 for 11 shooting. He's been phenomenal this year. I'm probably going to do a short on him later today. Josh Giddey had 18, 7-5, and 8 for 10 shooting. Big bounce back after having a bad game against Phoenix on ESPN. Lou Dort had 18 as well. Jalen Williams, the Santa Clara one, had 15. And then Lindy Waters came in and had 12 points, hit 3 threes off the bench. So that's something. But yeah, OKC really struggling after I predicted they were going to go on a play-in run, and they lost 3 in a row. And down to 13th now in the Western Conference. So that sucks. But yeah, Sacramento's won 3 in a row. Won all their games after All-Star break. They look amazing right now. Their offense is spectacular. What a turnaround for the Kings this year, man. Nothing can be nothing but happy for them. After 16 years, the last time, I'm gonna talk about that when they officially clinched the playoffs. But yeah, man, it's crazy what the Kings have turned into this season. Next, we have the ESPN games. First one was the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, no Rudy and Cat in this game. The Warriors, no Steph and Draymond. So both teams kind of handicapped. But it doesn't look like it for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves start out at a 20-7 run. Naz Reid was just doing whatever he wanted out there in the first. They're up 20-7, but then the Timberwolves turnovers. They're turning the ball over. DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, and them were getting the passing lanes. Ty Jerome. And Timberwolves lead 34-25 after the first. Naz Reid puts up 20 in the first quarter. Yeah, he was bully balling. He was doing whatever he wanted out there. We go to the second quarter, and Donte DiVincenzo and Jordan Poole were hitting threes, hitting a lot of shots. Donte DiVincenzo was amazing in this game, by the way. They were doing great and bringing the Warriors back. Kevon Looney as well, getting rebounds and tipping it in. Big thing for Minnesota too. Anthony Edwards had struggled to shoot throughout this entire game, but especially in the second quarter, he was trying to hit some shots, trying to get it going, but just couldn't really get it going. And at the end of the second quarter, Klay Thompson hits back-to-back tough shots, hits a three-pointer, and it's a crazy turnaround corner jumper to give the Warriors a 59-57 lead going into the second half. We'll go to the third quarter. It's back and forth shooting in the third quarter early. It was like Klay hit a three, then Naz Reid hit a three, then Kuminga hit a three, then Kyle Anderson hit a three. It was really back and forth scoring three. Then after a Klay Thompson layup with 6:10 left to make it a 2-point game, the Warriors hit just one shot for the last half of the third quarter. And it was a Jordan Poole cutting layup. And the Timberwolves decide to build on their lead a little bit. They go up 87-78 after a Nickeil Alexander-Walker 3 at the end of the third. The Warriors struggled to shoot at the end of the third. We go to the fourth quarter. The Timberwolves start off pretty good. Austin Rivers hits a three-pointer to make it a 10-point game, 94-84. But then the Warriors, after that point, go on a 12-2 run led by Donte DiVincenzo and Klay Thompson to tie the game up at 96. It's really back and forth. But then after a Warriors timeout, Donte DiVincenzo and Klay Thompson hit back-to-back three-pointers to make it a 6-point lead. And then Kevon Looney with a tip in to make it an 8-point lead. But then Anthony Edwards hits a three-pointer. Kyle Anderson was a dunk. It's 107-104. But then the Warriors get really greedy, I guess, on an inbound. The Timberwolves get a steal, and Jordan McLaughlin hits a wide-open corner three, but he misses it. An amazing shot, he misses it. After a jump ball and all this stuff, the Warriors hit free throws, and they seal the game and win 109-104. Big win for them. They hit 15 threes. The Timberwolves actually hit 17 threes, hit more threes in this game. It came down. Rebounds were huge. 56 to 43, 16 offensive rebounds for Golden State. Big without Minnesota two big men in there. And yeah, they just hit clutch shots, and the Timberwolves star couldn't get it going. Clay finishes with 32 points on 12 for 23 shooting, hitting 6 threes. He's been phenomenal as of recently after starting the year off pretty bad. He's been phenomenal, man. Great to see Clay doing Clay things. Dante DiVincenzo, man. What a game. 21, 8, and 5 with 4 steals, hit 4 3-pointers. He was amazing. When he got picked up in the offseason, I said this pickup is going to be huge for Golden State. It didn't look like it the first few months, but now it is. He had an incredible game yesterday. Jordan Poole at 15, even though he shot just 5 for 20 and 1 for 8 from 3. He hit shots when he needed him to. Jonathan Kuminga at 13, and then Kevon Looney 12 and 17, just being a big body down there. For Minnesota, Naz Reid had a career-high 30 points with 9 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks. He hit 4 threes. I was still surprised he wasn't traded at the trade deadline because he's going to be a free agent and someone's going to pay him because he's had an amazing season, especially just balled out on ESPN. He's a little bit undersized. He doesn't look undersized. He looks like he's 7 feet, but he's only 6'8", but he's just like really like big in weight and like stocky and built that he looks bigger. But yeah, a little undersized center, but can do so many things. Get the three, get to the rim on his own, get buckets on his own, handle the ball. Like he's really good. Anthony Edwards, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He shot 5 for 19 and 2 for 8 from 3. Tough game for Ant, man. But he'll bounce back. And then Jaden McDaniels and Kyle Anderson each had 12, and Nikhil Alexander-Walker even had 10 points off the bench for Minnesota. Yeah, now a big win for Golden State. They're 7th now in the West with a half-game lead over Utah. So yeah, these games where two playing teams or two teams in the West going against each other are huge. Unless it's the Spurs and the Rockets. But besides that, it's huge. Yeah, Minnesota falls to 9. They're now on a 3-game losing streak, back to under 500, 31 and 32 on the year. Next, we have the Rockets and Trailblazers. And, wow, this was an amazing game for its own reason. And you probably already know the reason, but I'm going to still tell you. So, yeah, this game starts off very, typical, very back and forth. For Portland, it was Dame, Jeremy Grant hitting shots. For Houston, Alperen Sengun started really good, and Jayshawn Tate as well doing his thing. The Blazers lead 32-31 after 1. We go to the second quarter. The Rockets start off solid. They're making this a game, but then Damian Lillard comes into the game with 8 minutes left, and it's like, all right, it's my time. Damian Lillard goes absolutely nuclear. Hits a few shots early in the second quarter. Rockets come back, hit some shots, but then Damian Lillard at the end of the quarter turns up. Dame scores the last 13 points for Portland, including hitting 3 straight 3-pointers, including he just got the ball, took it from half court, and was like, all right, here you go, bang. He scores the last 13 points. He puts up 25 in the second quarter. Blazers lead 73-58. He has 41 at halftime. 41 points in a first half. Yeah. So you already know what time it is after that. It's Dame time. 41 and a half is insane. We go to the third quarter, and we're all just watching Dame. I'm literally just watching the game just for Damian Lillard. The Blazers start off good. Matisse Thybulle hitting some shots. Like to see that. But the Rockets are keeping this a game, though. Rockets are keeping it a game. After being down 23 after a Dame shot. Rockets keep it a game. Tari Eason, Ty Washington, Jabari Smith, K. Martin Jr. actually, not Jabari Smith. K. Martin Jr. hitting some shots. And it's not only a 14-point game going to the fourth quarter after Dame. He scores 9 in the third. He has 50 through 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, the Rockets score the first 6 points, make it an 8-point game. And then time to put Dame in. The Rockets start the fourth quarter on a 15-6 run, and they make it a 5-point game after a Tari Eason putback layup. And then Drury makes a tip-in dunk. And then after that, Dame Miller says, all right, my turn, give me the ball. And Dame scores 18 straight points, just puts it on fire, hits a 3-pointer, and then makes a 2-point and 1 dunk on Jabari Smith Jr. Don't see that often. Then hits another 3, gets some free throws, And then at the end, you could tell he was very tired. He was just kind of chucking up shots and not even hitting the rim at some point. He was just putting up there. But then the Damian Lillard is the step in, little floating from the free throw line. He hits it and puts up 71. And he scores 18 of the last 20 points, or 21 points actually for Portland after Cam Reddish hit a 3-pointer. They were trying to give him the ball, but Dame was like, no, I'm done. I can't move. Give someone else. And Cam Reddish hit a step back three. And they win 131 to 114, man. It's a Damian Lillard show, really. Can we get some applause for Damian Lillard? Like, dude is a monster. 71 points. He has some of the most 60-point games, 50-point games, 40-point games in NBA history. He has so much records. He's the 8th player ever to have 70 in a game. This is the first season, actually, in NBA history where 2 players scored 70, as Donovan Mitchell put up 71 a few months ago. Well, actually, not even a few months ago, a month ago. But yeah, he was insane in this game, finishing with 71 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. He shot 22 for 38 from the field, hit 13 3-pointers, and 14 free throws. Yeah, we don't have to talk about anything else. Let's just talk about Damian Lillard in this game. Dude is phenomenal. And I'm going to have a short later about Damian Lillard. And I'm going to ask a question to you guys. But, yeah, he's phenomenal. Like, what else do you say about him? Like, everything. I mean, this dude is, like, legendary. It's just, he's legendary, man. He really is. And, sucks that he might not ever win a championship, but even if he doesn't, man, love Damian Lillard. How can you not love Damian Lillard? But yeah, and then the last game of the day was the Clippers and Nuggets, again on ESPN. Huge game against 2 of the top teams in the Western Conference. And the Nuggets start this game off hot. Nuggets start this game on a 20-4 run, led by Nikola Jokic, also KCP as well in there. Was getting some shots. They lead 20-4 early. They end the first quarter on a 35-22 score, with Jamal Murray hitting some shots in there as well. We go to the second quarter, and Bones Highland, his revenge game against Denver after they traded him and got some boos from the crowd. Bones Highland hit some shots, and Norman Powell as well hit some shots to keep the Clippers in this game and not let the Nuggets take over. But Nikola Jokic is still doing Nikola Jokic things, getting down low, getting some easy buckets, finding his teammates like KCP and Jamal Murray. Also hit some shots in that second quarter. And we go into halftime down 66-50 after Paul George, Kawhi, and Nick Batum hit some shots to make it a single-digit game. We go to the third quarter, and the Clippers start the third quarter on a 9-4 run led by Paul George and Kawhi and Nick Batum, and they make it a 4-point game. But then Michael Porter Jr. gets hot. Nuggets score 10 points in a row, make it a 14-point game. Michael Porter Jr. has 15 points in the third quarter. He was phenomenal. And the lead is up 97-88 going into the fourth. Going into the fourth quarter is an early big man duel. Mason Plumlee and Thomas Bryant are going back and forth for some reason. Go to the fourth. Reggie Jackson hits a 3-pointer with 8:15 left against his former team, his revenge game as well. He hit a 3-pointer to make it a 7-point game. But then the Clippers go on a 13-4 run led by Paul George and Kawhi. And Paul George's and one gives them a 2-point lead in the fourth. And then after that, it's just a back and forth. Nikola Jokic and Kawhi Leonard were going back and forth, hitting clutch shot after clutch shot. Kawhi hit 2 free throws, and Jokic hit a turnaround shot, and Kawhi hit a fadeaway. The Jokic hit 2 free throws, and Kawhi hit another fadeaway, and then Jokic hit It was like they were going back and forth. And with 27 seconds left, Michael Porter Jr. hits a 3 off a Jamal Murray pass to make it a 2-point lead for Denver. But then Paul George comes down the other end and gets fouled and hits both free throws to tie it at 120. And Bruce Brown gets an open 3, but just couldn't hit it. But then Paul George, he pulled a Joel Embiid. Paul George pulled up from half court and sunk it for the game, but it was just 0.1 second too late, man. Players got to start getting that shot off early, bro. But yeah, he makes it, but it doesn't count. We go into OT, 120, and then the Nuggets just take over from there. The Nuggets start overtime with a 12-2 run led by Nikola Jokic. And then PJ and Jamal Murray hit some threes in there as well, but Nikola Jokic was dominating this game. They lead by 10. The Clippers only score 4 points in overtime. The Nuggets win 134-124. Nuggets shoot 51% from the field. They hit 13 threes. They have 35 assists to the Clippers 24. They also had 50 rebounds to Clippers 38. Nikola Jokic finishes with 40, 17 and 10 with 3 steals. MVP. That's all you can say about him. MVP. Michael Porter Jr. was huge in this game as well. 29 and 11, hitting 4 3-pointers. He was amazing in this game. Looked like old looked like bubble MPJ out there. Nice to see. Then Jamal Murray had 21, 5 and 12. Even a little bit grimacing a little bit after the game on his leg. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it was just he was tired. He did play 41 minutes. And then, yeah, Bruce Brown had 13 as well in this game. For the Clippers, Kawhi had 33, 6 and 2. That dude is amazing. Paul George had 23. Russell Westbrook had 17, 5 and 4, and 5 steals. And did not play overtime. Randomly, the Clippers didn't have a point guard out there for overtime, which is very interesting. Nick Batum had 12, and then Bones Highland had 10. But yeah, the Clippers 0-2 with Russell Westbrook. Doesn't mean anything, probably not. But they're 5th in the West. And Denver, a big win. Big win after losing to a top team in the West. They beat another top team in the West. And yeah, very much well needed win. And yeah, NBA is amazing right now. Just an amazing time to be watching. All these games kind of matter now. Big shots, big exploding games. It's just amazing to watch, and I'm all here for it. So yeah, that's it for today's recap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Once again, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. I'm also on Twitter on Everyday Hoops 10. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.